Hello and welcome back to the channel. As a long-time factory game enthusiast, I would call myself, I thought it would be a good time to try out the Shapes 2 full release that released yesterday. I did play the first game, not extensively, but a decent amount. So I think we're just gonna go right into this and see what we think. I'm gonna go with the certification. I'm guessing this is a tutorial kind of thing. So let's go into that. Certification program. Welcome to the operator certification program. You did register, right? Before Vortex Ltd lets you anywhere near a real factory, we need to make sure you know what you're doing. Regulations, you understand? You have one job: deliver the requested shapes as efficiently as possible. Prove your skills, and you'll earn your operator license along with access to new technologies. We've provided you with an unlimited amount of buildings to get the job done. Try not to break too many, we'll still need them for the next participant. Good luck out there. I will not build any spaghetti factories. I cannot, in good conscience, accept this, but let's go. Alright, we've set up an individual simulation for you. Can't have you mess up our real factories, not yet anyway. This is your Vortex platform. It's not much, but you'll unlock more space as you progress. Plenty for now, right? Sure. So see that thing in the center, that's your Vortex. Deliver shapes to it to complete your certification. Ever wonder where those shapes end up? Manufacturer mode has the answers. We've scattered a few shape asteroids around the platform. Due to recent budget cuts, automatic extraction has been discontinued. You'll need to extract them yourself. Okay. One last tip, always make sure to error section missing and you'll be just fine. That's everything. Good luck, operator. Place mini miners on the highlighted areas. Apparently miner is 5. I think, yeah, we can rotate this just like in Factorio, so R for clockwise and Shift R for counterclockwise. Conveyor belts. Conveyor belts transport shapes from A to B. Anchors lock the belt to a fixed point, making placement much easier. Practice placing conveyor belts and anchors here. Okay, so we got an interactive tutorial. Press 1 to select the conveyor belt. Hold. Keep holding left mouse button and press C to place an anchor. Okay. Cool. So then we need to do this without the... Can I just drag it across? Yeah, I can drag it across. Cool. Not a huge fan of this. That's better. I like this tiny jump they make over here. I can drag the camera by left clicking as well. That's neat. I like how they're just flying into this vortex. Place half destroyers to cut circles into half circles. That would be 3. Destroys the west half of any shape. Okay, just place them here. Drag conveyor belts to split them. Conveyor belts are faster than machines, so use one belt to supply multiple machines. One belt, many machines, that's the motto around here. Okay, sure. The half destroyer destroys the western half of a shape. Combine it with the rotator to choose which side gets destroyed. Half destroyer, rotator. Use half destroyer, rotator, half destroyer to create quarters. And that's gonna be the second one. And then we do this. Drag conveyor belts to merge them. Machines are slower than conveyor belts, so always merge the output or multiple machines onto one belt. The reverse of splitting. Shocking, I know. And then we need to go down here. We also need some squares now, I see. So we'll just do the same here to get those rolling. I wonder what this shape here is. We can look in the codex here as well. You can use WASD to move the camera and left mouse button. We already figured that out. Zoom with the mouse wheel. You can rotate horizontally. You can snap to multiples of 30 degrees by default. That we can change. Okay. Jump home. Visualizations can be toggled. Okay. I'm not going to read all of that. Kinda neat. Now we can click the milestones. This would be rotate and cut. So we unlock the stacker. Your performance so far is acceptable. Here's the stacker. It lets you stack shapes on top of each other. You'll need belt lifts to use it. Let's see what you can do with it. The stacker combines shapes through stacking, producing shapes with multiple layers or combining quarters into a single layer. It receives shapes from two inputs. The upper shape is dropped onto the lower, and any discontinued sections fall until they hit a solid surface. If both shapes are whole, they'll stack neatly. With empty or loose quarters, parts may fall further before landing. The stacker requires belt lifts to feed its second input to the upper level. The stacker is slow, very slow. You'll need a lot of them, and I mean a lot of them. Okay, so we can go up here and place a stacker. You've unlocked the second machine level. This lets you place conveyors and machines on multiple levels, which the stacker requires. Practice placing belt lifts here until you get the hang of it. This one trips up most new operators. Take your time. So we can select the conveyor belt, we go here, we press E to go up one level and then connect it. Okay. So then we need to take, for example, these. No. Go here maybe. And then I kind of want to rotate again. And we can just put that up there. Oh yeah, I can press Q to go down one level. So I'm gonna see if I can... Can I take this? Can I multiple select this? I can. Cool. You can quickly delete an area with shift. Okay. That's fine. I just kind of wanted to get that in there. Did I place stackers here again? Not used to these controls. Okay. And then we'll drag this here. You'll need 6 of them to keep up with a single conveyor belt. Place them in an array though more creative layouts are absolutely possible. That's 3, 4, 5, 6. Output. Then we'll do that, and we have to go up one level. We'll do that. This can be deleted. Can do that. Okay, cool. We can use V to hide upper levels. Okay, that's kind of neat. So if I want to place something down here, we can absolutely do that. Easy peasy. Got a deal for you. Open the jobs screen. Here we can deliver the listed shapes to the Vortex. You'll want those research credits, trust me. So we're gonna stack a inverted square circle thing. The hell is that shape anyway? Or 4 yellow things. So what are the things that we get out here? Oh, that's a finished shape of that. And that's a finished shape of that. Okay. So if we do place a couple of miners here, take those there. Let's check the jobs again. So we needed a square to place under that. So we'll take these, go here somewhere. Then we can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That will go in there. This will then go here. Go down one level. And we'll send that straight into that. Okay. Did I do this incorrectly? No, I did. I think I reversed this. Yeah, I reversed this. Shift, delete. That's fine. So we'll need to do this instead. No reversing of the blueprint that they wanted to do for us. Okay, so we also need to get the yellow thing, and that was over here, yeah? We need this as it is. And then we need halves of this. If we just take this, and then we do a couple of cutters, and then we need to rotate these as well. That should be that. If I remember correctly, in shapes 1, you would get both of the shapes, but they would be separated. Okay, so now we need quarters of this. So we're gonna cut... What happens if we cut this again? Nothing. We actually need to rotate it. And then we get the correct shape. There we go. Cool. Orientation doesn't matter. The Vortex accepts shapes in any orientation, so you don't need to rotate them before delivering them. I mean, have you tried rotating your camera? Sure. But I still need to rotate it to cut it to a quarter, right? So. And this here would be cutting it again, right? I don't know how many I need. I'm just rando placing machines right now. Very randomly. So we can collect the research credits. So this here oh, we can actually see. That's neat. That's really neat. So what we basically need here is another stacker. And we'll need this to go around and be dropped on top of that. And then output. Does that actually work? Yeah, okay, it does. Nice. Now we need to make use of that so we can see what we're placing under that. Now we can treat ourselves to something from the shop. Oh, okay. So this is the cutter that I was talking about before. So we can get that. Okay, there's a bunch of things to unlock here. We can also unlock the next thing, which is blueprints. Copy-paste parts of the factory, save designs and reuse them. But not the messy ones, please. So we can shift left mouse button and then Control C to copy it. That's really neat. And then, oh, okay. Okay, so the blue thing that we get from here, we need to cut into quarters. Which would be this. Nice. So that's gonna rotate it, and then half of it is gonna go away. We now have done this. And then the next step of this one would be to drop another blue thing on top of it, you know? So we do this. And then that's going to go into that. Which means we can then reverse that. We can probably just delete that part. Cool. I'm hoping this is gonna work, right? That does indeed look like the correct shape. The quarters thing is also working. If we delete this, and then we use this instead, what do we actually get? So if we do this, and then we use this, no. If we rotate this, we rotate this, they are indeed the correct shape. And then we need to rotate this again. And then get that into a stacker, yeah? Okay. I have no idea how many of these we would need. But this should indeed be the correct shape. Now we need to do the same thing with blue squares. Where do we have blue squares? We don't really have enough, I think. Let's grab a couple more. Take this monstrosity. Do that. This will, I think, be the right shape. It looked like the right shape anyway. Still have 300 of this. Okay, we can also rotate shapes counterclockwise, which would be helpful. I think we can just unlock that, to be honest. Okay, and then we need some red squares. We take this. Okay. We'll just go up. Oh, that can actually jump over those belts. Okay. Take this here. Then We'll take this output. We'll put a stacker here. We'll put a stacker here, actually. Then this here will go down one level. This here will go up one level. And then this will go out and into there. Okay. It's really neat that it shows you the shape that you're gonna get out of this. Then we need a quarter of this, you know? So then we can cut this. We can rotate it. And then cut it again. And that should be the same thing, right? Oh no. Put that there. Does that actually count? It does. Nice. There is no spaghetti to be seen here. Absolutely not. And right now we're a little bit low on these. I think we could probably just delete this, yeah. Nice. Quota complete. Okay, so then we need to take this shape and combine it with this. So we need another stacker here. We'll take this one, I think. Can remove this. And then we'll take this and put that upstairs. No, we won't. This actually needs to be rotated as well, yeah? I think this is what we need to do. We are now done with this. Stacking step by step is done. We're kind of done with this as well. So this here would be yellow. It would be yellow. And then the normal circle that comes from here. So we'll take this here somewhere. No, not really. No. There we go. That's kind of when I want to use the anchors, I guess. We don't really need this here right now. So we'll take those, and that's gonna be a stacker. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I'm pretty sure yellow is on the low ground, and this is on the high ground. Then we get something out that we just put in there. This is already getting a little bit messy here. But I do like the design constraints so far. It feels pretty cool. Okay, so we can increase the number of conveyor belts we can put in there. We can do machine speed. And then I have no idea what these things are either. Milestone complete. Okay. After careful observation, we're allowing you to expand beyond the Vortex platform and build space platforms. There's a limit though, we're not crazy. Space platforms, basic platform capacity. Okay. Enter space view by zooming out. Okay. Oh, okay, so this is some green blocks. So this is the thing. Place an asteroid miner here. Let's do this one. Connect 3 miner boosters to an asteroid miner to unlock additional extraction spots on the platform. Okay. At that point, I think we need to use the middle one. Okay. Use space belts to connect platforms. They work like regular belts with support for anchors and lifts across multiple levels. Each space belt has 4 lanes per machine level. Every lane carries 4 conveyor belts worth of throughput, so you can merge up to 4 machine platforms into one space belt. Shapes stay in their lane. Input on the lower right comes out the lower right. Okay. Only operators stayed in their lane too. True. Okay, so we can just go crazy here. We can put that there. Place machine platforms to get more space for your machines. Your platform capacity, upper left, determines how many you can place. Build them as big and big reusable modules, for example, as dedicated rotator or stacker platforms, so you can build and blueprint and reuse. Okay. Sure. So if we then place a couple of miners here, and we put them here, we put them there. They have kind of high throughput, okay. Then we'll just take this. This is gonna suck. Do we need any of these other things here right now? Kinda not. Let's delete this. So we can get the green into there. That would be nice. That would be very neat indeed. Okay, so while we're doing that, we can cut this up. So this is 30 per minute. And this is 120 per minute. Is that really? Oh. That would be 60, so that would be 120 per minute. So in theory, we can support 4 of these per belt. So we'll cut these into half shapes, which then will just go in there. Okay, and then we need to stack this green thing with the yellow thing that we have here. That would be 6. I should have made a blueprint of this already. We'll remove that. Oh no, now we're doing this the incorrect way, yeah. So it's supposed to be yellow on the bottom. And green on the top. That's fine. We are learning as we go to pay attention to what it says up here. So interestingly enough, this here does mean that we can do double the throughput because they are indeed getting half shapes. But that was very quick. And then we need to cut those into quarters. So we want to cut this into quarters. Which probably means we need to rotate. And then do this. Can I mirror this in any way? I can. Okay, so F does mirror this. I take this, then I mirror this to do that. That should indeed be a lot of those. Okay, cool. I think I'm getting at least a little bit of a hang of this. Okay, and now we need to stack this thing on top of a blue thing. Right, so if we remove this, then we remove this here as well. Just take this, put that there. Can remove this. So the blue needs to go on the bottom. This needs to go on the top. And then we just launch that in there. So that comes in there, and then we need to put this into something. Which means specific pieces here needs to be rotated. This needs to be rotated counterclockwise. Like so. And then we need to stack this. And then I think this would be the reverse. No, it wouldn't. So we have the top thing. This needs to rotate counterclockwise. Wait, let me swap over so we can see this from the other direction. Oh, so it is the same. Oh, but this would rotate the other piece. Yeah. Okay. And then we need a stacker for that. That can go in there. We'll go up one. That's gonna totally work. Let's just remove this. And then we'll take this. We'll build another one here, maybe. Take this in here. We'll take that down there. Take this in here. That should be the same shapes, yeah? That's really neat. Milestone complete. Well, now we have our operator's license. So that means that we're done with this. Okay, so well done, operator. As a reward, we're upgrading your simulation into a real factory. Pick your preferred mode of your machines, upgrades, and credits will transfer. Regular, this factory needs you. Shape demand is at an all-time high. A standard simulation recommended for first-time operators. Looking for a challenge, this simulation is tougher than the standard one, more complex shapes and tighter requirements. Definitely doable for enhanced, experienced operators. We're definitely going with hard. Cool. I think that's going to be the end of the first episode here. So far, I've really enjoyed this, and I plan to at least make a couple of episodes of this and see how the game goes further. If you like this content, consider subscribing to my channel. And as always, thank you so much for watching and have a really, really nice day.